Hi, my name is Madison Wilson, and today I did my lessons on keeping our playgrounds clean. My TEK is TEK 3.A, so it's scientific investigation and reasoning. The student knows that information and critical thinking are used in scientific problem solving. The student is expected to identify and explain a problem, such as the impact of littering on the playground, and propose a solution in his or her own words. For my T-test domain, I did domain 1.1. The teacher designs clear, well-organized sequential lessons that reflect best practices, align with standards, and are appropriate for diverse learners. For my ISTE Ed Standard, I used Designer 2.5. So educators design authentic, learner-driven activities and environments that recognize and accommodate learner variability. For my virtual instructional strategy, I decided to use rock and roll vocabulary. I just think that this works best for this lesson because a lot of kindergartners may not know some of the words that I'm going to be using, such as like reduce, reuse, recycle, litter, things like that. So this will just give me a extra cushion for them to make sure that they know those words and kind of reteach them. This lesson is going to be a continuation of a lesson that they have already been doing. So they should already know most of these words, but this can just help them review it too. Um, it'll be a continuation on kind of like them already learning about pollution and pollution on beaches and with our marine life. So for the instructional delivery, I'm going to be using Nearpod. For the engagement, I'm going to be using YouTube and Nearpod. And for the assessment, it's going to be Kahoot. Okay, so for my Nearpod lesson, let me pull that up. So it's going to be keeping our playground clean. I wanted to do this as a continuation to what they have already been learning with the pollution and the pollution on our beaches. Some kindergartners may have not ever been to the beach, or they may not know much about beach pollution and stuff like that, or it may not affect them that much just because, like I said, they may not go to the beach. So they might not think of it as a big deal. But when you relate it to something that they know, like our playgrounds, they play on playgrounds every day. They go to recess every day. So I wanted to kind of do this to kind of bring it more to home so they can understand how it's a problem. So keep our playground clean. Tap to start the lesson. So what is litter? We're going to talk about what litter is. We're going to have a classroom discussion, just kind of start good discussion with all of us and discuss what that litter is and what it means and if they've seen it, if they've seen it on our playground, at home, wherever that might be. So then they're going to draw trash on the playground. So this is just a tool on Nearpod where they can draw trash. They can write on here. So I'm going to have them draw trash on the playground here. And then we're going to talk about why litter is a problem. So we're going to watch this little YouTube video on why we shouldn't litter. It's a little fun interactive video that I think they would enjoy, and it'll catch their attention as to why we shouldn't litter. Next, I'm going to have them kind of play a game/quiz, and it's called Time to Climb. They're just going to be asked questions like, what is litter? Then they're going to have to answer that. And then it's going to be like climbing a leaderboard, basically. So they're going to climb this leaderboard with these questions. Next, they're going to answer a question, and it's going to be about how we can help. So they're going to write about how they think that they can help with litter. This can be how they think they can help with litter anywhere around them, like not just the playground, not just the beach, but like at home, when they're out with their families, what they think they can do to help with litter. And they're going to type in their thoughts right here. And then we're going to discuss them together as a class. So that's my Nearpod lesson. Then we're going to do a Kahoot, kind of their exit ticket. So I created this, and it's just going to be an exit ticket to kind of see where they're at, if they've understood the lesson. So it's going to ask questions like, is a little bit of litter okay? They're going to answer that. Then I have, what does a clean playground look like? They're going to answer that. What is the best way to keep a playground clean? They're going to answer that. And then I did this poll just kind of for me as the teacher to see where all of my class is. It's going to tell me whether most of them understand what litter is and how to keep their environment clean, or if they need to learn more, if they want to practice more or talk about it more. They're going to answer a poll question. Do you feel like you know how to keep your environment clean, or do you need to learn more? That way I know where most of my class is. So yeah, this is my lesson on keeping our playgrounds clean, um, focusing on instructional delivery, engagement, and assessment. And I am open to any questions or comments or anything that can help me make this lesson better. Thank you.